Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that has drawn the world's attention for years: how the Iron Dome system saved Israel from rockets. It's one of the most advanced missile defense systems ever created, and its role in protecting civilian lives is both remarkable and fascinating. To truly understand its impact, we need to look at why it was developed, how it works, and the difference it has made during conflicts. When Israel began facing frequent rocket attacks from groups in Gaza and Lebanon, it became clear that conventional defenses weren't enough. Rockets were cheap, could be fired in large numbers, and often targeted civilian areas where ordinary people lived, worked, and went to school. Unlike missiles fired in conventional warfare, these projectiles didn't always follow predictable patterns and were sometimes launched from hidden sites, making them difficult to intercept. Israel's military needed a way to defend against this constant threat without having to rely only on offensive operations. Out of this urgent need, the Iron Dome was born. Developed by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems with support from the United States, the Iron Dome was designed as a short-range missile defense system. The idea was to create something that could quickly detect incoming rockets, calculate their trajectory, and destroy them before they could land in populated areas. The challenge was immense. Rockets are fast, they can be fired in salvos, and the defense system had to decide in real time whether a rocket was actually dangerous or headed toward open land. Knocking down every single projectile would be too expensive and unnecessary, so the system needed to be intelligent as well as powerful. The Iron Dome works in three main parts. First, its radar detects a rocket as soon as it is launched. The radar immediately tracks its path through the air. Next, the control system analyzes the data and predicts where the rocket is going to land. If the system calculates that the rocket will fall in an open field or the sea, it does nothing. But if it's heading toward a town, a city, or an important site, the system activates the third part, the launch of an interceptor missile. The interceptor flies toward the incoming rocket and explodes near it in the sky, destroying it before it can cause harm. This all happens in just seconds, and the people on the ground often see only a flash of light and hear a loud boom as the interception occurs. Since it was first deployed in 2011, the Iron Dome has had a massive effect on Israel's ability to withstand rocket attacks. In its early tests, it successfully intercepted rockets during real combat situations, something that had never been achieved on such a consistent level before. The system is reported to have an interception rate of around 85 to 90% in most conflicts, though this can vary depending on the intensity of attacks and the number of rockets fired at once. The psychological effect of the system is just as important as its physical defense. Citizens know that they are not completely vulnerable, and that reassurance has allowed daily life to continue even during times of escalation. For example, during the 2012 conflict between Israel and Hamas, the Iron Dome intercepted hundreds of rockets that would have struck major cities like Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. In 2014, during the Gaza war, thousands of rockets were fired toward Israel, and the Iron Dome managed to block the majority of those heading for populated areas. More recently, in 2021, another round of conflict saw over 4,000 rockets launched in a matter of days. Again, the Iron Dome prevented many of them from hitting urban centers, saving countless lives and avoiding widespread destruction. One of the reasons the Iron Dome is considered so groundbreaking is because of how cost-effective it is compared to the threat it faces. Rockets fired by militant groups can cost as little as a few $100s each. By contrast, an interceptor missile from the Iron Dome is estimated to cost tens of thousands of dollars. On the surface, this seems like an uneven match. But when you think about the cost of rebuilding a city block, repairing critical infrastructure, or the incalculable value of human lives, the expense becomes more understandable. Support from allies like the United States has also helped sustain the system, providing funding and additional resources to keep it operational. The technology has also had wider implications beyond just Israel's borders. Other nations have looked at the Iron Dome with interest, seeing it as a model for how to defend against short-range projectiles. The United States has even purchased Iron Dome batteries for testing and deployment in certain situations, and countries facing similar threats have studied its architecture to develop their own systems. In this way, the Iron Dome has influenced global military strategy, showing how advanced technology can be a counterbalance to low-cost but highly disruptive weapons. Critics, however, point out that while the Iron Dome saves lives, it does not address the root causes of conflict. Rockets continue to be fired because the political situation remains unresolved. Some argue that the system gives Israel a sense of security that reduces the urgency to reach a lasting peace agreement, since the immediate danger is partially contained. Others question whether reliance on such a system could encourage adversaries to seek new methods of attack, such as overwhelming the Iron Dome by launching massive barrages or developing more advanced weaponry. These debates highlight that while technology can protect lives, it cannot replace the need for diplomacy and solutions to long-term tensions. Despite these criticisms, the undeniable reality is that the Iron Dome has saved thousands of lives. Imagine if even a fraction of the rockets it intercepted had landed in crowded neighborhoods or hit critical infrastructure like power plants, hospitals, or airports. The level of destruction and loss of life would have been catastrophic. Families who might otherwise have faced tragedy were spared because of the system's quick action. Stories from people who watched a rocket explode harmlessly in the sky instead of crashing into their homes are a reminder of just how vital this technology has been. The Iron Dome has also changed the rhythm of life in Israel during conflicts. Instead of people living in constant fear of rockets, they rely on warning sirens and trust that the system is standing guard above them. That doesn't mean life is easy. Sirens still cause panic, people still run to shelters, and sometimes rockets slip through. But the level of destruction is far lower than it might otherwise be. This resilience has shaped how society functions under pressure, creating a unique blend of caution and confidence in the face of ongoing threats. Looking at the future, it's clear that the Iron Dome will continue to evolve. Developers are working on improvements to make it even more effective against larger barrages and potentially against drones and other aerial threats. Integration with other defense systems is also underway, creating a layered defense that can handle everything from short-range rockets to long-range ballistic missiles. In many ways, the Iron Dome is just the first step in a broader vision of comprehensive air defense. Ultimately, the story of the Iron Dome is about more than just technology. It's about human ingenuity responding to danger, about a society's determination to protect its people, and about the way modern warfare is constantly changing. Rockets were once seen as unstoppable weapons of terror, but with systems like the Iron Dome, that narrative has shifted. It has turned the sky into a battlefield where defense can actually win, where incoming attacks are not always a guarantee of destruction, and where the balance between offense and defense is being rewritten.